when I graduated, I was introduced to the opportunity here in Arizona to come work at a charter school with kids with autism.
Oh, okay.
Um, so, like while I was in Jersey, I basically met a friend who worked here, and he told me that he would love to introduce me to his leaders and everything, and see if it's in alignment. So honestly, I sent my resume virtually. They told me they were very interested. So I grabbed my savings. I came out here. I basically interviewed, had a job here 7 days after moving here right away. So that was really helpful for sure.
Yeah.
And I had love for the autistic community, because I grew up. One of my cousins actually, he's about a year older than me, and we grew up together in DR. And he never had services. He never actually got. It was his
Mm,
mom doing everything,
mm,
and now he's a grown man and everything, and he never actually has services. So I knew that I needed to do something to like learn how I can help that community.
yeah.
And like I never have anything against like starting from the bottom, especially if you don't know anything. So
Sure.
I started as a teacher's assistant, basically, providing behavioral support. I was working with like the toughest cases in the school. I was dealing with aggression. I was dealing with um, bites, like literally anything that you can imagine, like chairs flying, punches, all the things. Like I was trained in restraints and all that stuff. Um, and I worked there for about a year. But the last few months, actually, my teacher was absent like a lot of the time. She had a lot
Yeah.
going on, like most teachers do. Like they have a lot to deal with.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but that meant that I had to step into a teacher position. So I would literally have four classrooms that would rotate of kids of different age groups, of different behavioral like needs, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I would work individually with all of the kids. And that was definitely very challenging. After that, I realized that I do not want to do that. Uh, I was like, nope,
Like, that was enough of that.
that's enough of that. Did it for that year. And I ended up actually getting multiple offers for clinics all over the valley that wanted me to work for them because, like, bilingual, a male with behavioral experience and a psychology degree. Like, they, I wasn't concerned about getting a job.
Hmm.
To that point. So I ended up choosing a really awesome clinic actually that had beautiful supervisors, like really knowledgeable supervisors who knew a lot about the field, and they did training, both group and a lot of one-on-one training as well. So anything that I needed, they were right there to give me feedback and help me out.
Yeah.
Um, it went from me working at a classroom to working one-on-one with the kiddos. So that was a lot of weight off my shoulders as well because I had a classroom with like 8, 9 kids, all
Yeah.
behavioral, to moving to one kid at a time. Again, here, I still was working with like the toughest cases, the most not toughest, but the most challenging cases. Um, a lot of kids that were nonverbal, a lot of kids that aggressed, that engage in self-injurious behavior, whether it was biting themselves, whether there was there was a lot of that for sure.
Yeah.
I love the work. It was incredibly rewarding. The parents love me, the kids love me. I love the work itself. I got a promotion, so I was making more money. I felt great, honestly. Like I loved it. Soon after that, I got accepted into my master's program. So I'm like everything's coming together beautifully. Like this is great. And I got accepted into my master's program February of 2020. So
Well,
I was like, this is great.
I
I
think
have
I
so
think we
many,
know what happened the next month.
I was like, I had savings growing. Like I was like, everything was coming together beautifully. And then the clinic started closing out. Parents started taking their kiddos out of sessions, which meant I would literally just lose like chunks of 8 hours per week, just
Yeah.
because I wouldn't have a client. And I had trips that I had to cancel and everything like that, all of that. But I was like, okay, cool. Like it's all good. But at the time, I had this idea that we'll get back to the normal, like whatever that normal meant. I was like, we'll get back to it, this
Hmm.
and that. The clinic just kept having to close, or like parents would literally take their kids out, and like my finances were taking a hit. But I loved the work. It was in alignment with the schooling that I was getting, and a
Hmm.
lot of my supervisors already had the master's that the degree that I was in pursuit of. So I was like, I'll do it. It's so good. I was basically working part time at the clinic, so I decided to start my own business. Like literally just did virtual coaching because everyone was asking me like, "Yo, how are you staying in shape during the pandemic?" And I was like, "Cool." So I started doing coaching for friends and family, and I would just do virtual coaching like Zoom
Yeah.
calls and stuff like that. I would write programs for them using behavioral principles and the stuff that I've learned in my own experience. um, so amazing results. Like literally, it was really rewarding work as well.
Mm.
I was exhausted because I have my own business. I had to do social media. I had my master's program. I had to get supervision hours. It was wild, and I did that for a whole year. I did it all the way to like like literally July, not July, yeah, June 2021.
Okay.
But a month before that, and these dates are important because by that time, like I started realizing like, hey, like this is not sustainable. This is not something that like I want to continue to do. Um, and my wake up call was when I was diagnosed with depression in May of 2021, and I was really confused. I was like, wait, what? But like, I don't understand. Like, I have psychology degrees. I have an amazing support system. Like I understand that like COVID just happened. There was a lot of trauma. Like I know
Sure.
all of that stuff, but like I don't understand like why I have literal clinical depression. And I went to a psychotherapist. Not, yeah, not psycho, yeah, a psychiatrist actually. I went to. I wish I went to a psychotherapist. I went to a psychiatrist, and I had two sessions with him, basically two really short sessions, and he immediately just here meds. You're just give me the antidepressant meds. I honestly, he never really asked me about my habits. He never really asked me about my diet. He really never asked me. He never even proposed some coping skills before actually moving into medication.
Got it. Got it.
And yeah, like I ended up doing what he told me and everything like that. The following month, the same month that I quit my job, I put my month notice. I got a call from my dad's friend telling me that he fell victim to alcoholism. Like he ended up like really, really, really ill. I took a flight out there while in my master's program, so I was literally getting my master's while helping him like get everything under control, cleaning his room, calling his insurance company to get him help and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, and he was not about it because he's a macho man, and he is not gonna get help from people. So I only had
Right.
a week there. Yeah, I only had a week there. So I did the best that I could. I sat with him. I helped him out the best that I could. I called his insurance. I literally set I scheduled appointments for him and everything. Um, but then I had to go back, and when I came back um, to work, my boss told me that because I already resigned, the PTO that I accrued for 2 years working there wasn't they weren't gonna honor it. So
Wow.
I didn't know how I was gonna pay rent the following month. I was like, wait, what? Okay,
Wow.
yeah, it was crazy, and I was like in awe. But honestly, at this like the following month, I actually started a strategic partnership with a superfood company here actually here in California, that like allowed me to really step into what I wanted to do and my mission of like basically sharing the message of generational health and wealth with our communities.
Hmm.
And I was able to do that and use that as a vehicle to do my business, which at the time what I wanted to do was do like coaching sessions for kids with autism, basically health and fitness, because I saw a lot of problems in that area and no
Yeah.
support in the entire valley. And um yeah, so after that like I really stepped into my business, and ever since then like um it's just been growing, and it's been like just been wonderful. And now that I graduated, now I can actually have a lot more time.
Sure.
And
Sure.
yeah, and I've been diving into my business, and yeah, like it's been going amazingly for sure. Like, and I'm doing presentations in front of like so many people in Spanish and English, and like really doing what I feel like I'm called for.
Yeah.
And
Yes, sir.